Now, there's a lot of misunderstanding about things like fast and slow digesting proteins. What is the difference? Because a lot of people talk about it, but I don't think a lot of people actually know what that means. So fast digesting proteins are proteins that essentially are absorbed by your body between 1 and 2 hours, while slow digesting are 2 hours or longer. Now that will dictate when you should consume which one. For example, after you exercise, you want something that's fast paced that the body will absorb very quickly because your body and your muscles are starving for nutrients. So you want to consume fast absorbing proteins. So you want to be consuming things like whey protein powder, eggs, chicken, fish, tuna, which is part of fish, yogurt. And when you're about to go to bed or when you're recovering, what you want to use are slow absorbing proteins. So you want to be consuming things like red meat before you go to bed. Yes, it's very counterintuitive because throughout your whole life you've been told not to consume heavier foods before you go to bed because, you know, digestion, this and that, but that's all nonsense. If you're tired enough, you will sleep well. So please, because red meat and things like nuts as well are slow digesting proteins, have more of them in the later part of the day because they take longer to absorb. You'll recover better because while your body's absorbing all that nutrition, you're actually sleeping. So you're doing your body a huge favor. So that's all it is. Another good slow protein source is casein powder. Casein is a slightly different amino acid. So you want to have either casein or red meat or some nuts before you go to bed. Even things like cheese. Yes, cheese do digest slightly in a funny way, and they do make some people, you know, dream weird dreams. But if you're after gains, who cares? Have a little bit of cheese before bed. In terms of protein powder, you got to be really careful what you consume because with a lot of protein powders, you're not actually getting the percentage of protein per serve because there's a loophole. Some companies, they use fillers. You know, their sources are different and so the quality goes down. That's why it's important for you to do your own research and read. I suppose there are differences between protein brands because, as I said earlier, companies will often have different sources, much cleaner sources of proteins. They will filter them many more times under stricter lab conditions. So sometimes it may in fact be worth the money, you know, getting something a little bit more expensive because then you have the peace of mind that you're getting what you pay for, and that will aid your recovery on top of the proteins that you're consuming from food. And as I've been saying many years ago, and I still do, there is no substitute to real food. Yes, protein is great, but instead of, you know, consuming casein and whey protein for different absorption rates, just eat regular food. Nature knows how to make food nutritious, better than any scientist in the lab, believe me. There is no alternative to food. You want to grow, you want to recover, you want to be the best you can be. Real food is the only way to go. Protein powder is only used as a supplement or a replacement simply because we can't afford to eat 5 or 10 kilos of meat a day. I'm sure some people can, but the general population can't. It's too expensive. Plus, it's not healthy to be consuming 5-10 kilograms of red meat every day. I mean, it's crazy. It'll kill you. So that's what it's good for. But yes, don't forget, absorption rates are important. After training, after rigorous exercise, you want to be hitting your body with very fast absorbing proteins such as whey, fish, chicken, eggs, whatever, yogurt. When you're into long-term recovery, before you go to bed, eat things like red meat, some cheese, some nuts, things like that. And believe me, your recovery will skyrocket.